Hi, this is Stan Hustad once again for another radio adventure, and today, could I invite you? Yes, could I welcome you to what we call the Birds and Snakes Society? Well, what could that be all about? Well, here's the story. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen and friends. I'm back after taking a sabbatical, 7 days off as a broadcaster, and that kind of is about all you oftentimes get. As I oftentimes say, if you have a broadcast mindset, you are always being prepared in some way to have to take an incident, take an exploration, take an adventure, and find a way of putting it into a sound production, maybe a sound and video production, and communicating that to the world. That's what you are called to do if you're a Jesus broadcaster. Well, if you're a Jesus entrepreneur, that means you are in the marketplace and you are seeking to be the person who can build a business that makes a difference. First of all, it makes some money so that you and your family and those responsibilities and relationships you have can be provided for. Yes, in effect, that's true. And so the Jesus Entrepreneur Collective comes out of what we call the Christian Entrepreneur Network, which is a legal 501c3, fully licensed organization. But this is not meant to be anything very formal in the collective. We are hoping that you will join the collective and be a founding friend, that you'll at least start the donations that might help us begin and to perhaps survive. But we will thrive not because we ask or beg for donations. We will survive and thrive because we are building businesses that make a difference. We're not just looking for ways. I got a letter the other day from somebody who is in a quote business ministry, and he asked me to give generously. And the minimum he was asking for was $100. And he was hoping that it would go up to $5,000 because as of yesterday, at the end of their fiscal year, they needed a lot of money. And they wanted me to give them money because somebody was going to do a matching donation. Blessings on that model if that's what you want to do, but this is new. This is different. The Jesus Entrepreneur Collective is a group of men, particularly men, younger men, but also older men, and we will be joined by some very, very men of might, but women of wonder who will also come in and be able to describe for us how we can be better as entrepreneurs if we will take more of a Jesus point of view as a woman of wonder, as a woman entrepreneur would see the world and see it differently. And that's why I say that what we need is not only somebody like me and somebody like many of you to actually help us learn what it's like to be a Jesus entrepreneur. We're going to need women, mature women. By the way, as I oftentimes point out, the first European Christian, the first European Christian was a woman. Did you know that? Yeah. And she was a businesswoman, and she was actually quite prosperous. She was one of the first disciples of Jesus from Europe. Seller of purple, Lydia, was a Jesus entrepreneur. Yeah, that'll shake things up to realize that that was the deal. That's what happened. Now, of course, right now, with those of us at this part of the United States, we are very much involved in all of the worldwide activities of the World Cup. And that's always something to see the excitement and energy that comes out of that. Also, In America, we are right now in the middle of what is called year 250 because this is the 250th anniversary. July 4th, what will be 2026 is 250 years since 1776, the birth of the Declaration of Independence and the birth of the United States. And a lot has happened since then. So we are in the midst of all those things, and we are also in the midst of a variety of economic and I don't know another word, revolutions, transformations. The AI phenomenon is going to change so many things. The way we do business is obviously going to have to be changing in many ways. And we want to be there to be people who have spirit-filled force, power, creativity, and energy so that we can not only witness to and demonstrate to the fact that Jesus is the answer. Jesus, the entrepreneur, is also perhaps part of the answer to how you should be in the marketplace today. That's what we're all about. And that's why today's subject, which is meant to be a little bit shocking, yeah, the Birds and Snakes Society. Yes, join the Birds and Snakes Society. Now, that goes back to a number of years ago when I was playing around with one of the more important teachings of Jesus that was quite controversial to many people. Now, the reason it's controversial is because it's disturbing. What do you mean by that? What's going on? Jesus, are you sure about that? Now, there is a very famous pastor of past days, had a large following, a large reputation. And in one of his books, he made this statement that one of the most important statements Jesus said was about birds and snakes. And here's perhaps, and some of you know where we're going. If you don't, start to look it up. He asked his followers to be wise as serpents and gentle as a dove. The doves and serpents, the birds and snakes, the doves and serpents society. And what the man was saying is living in that tension. What does it mean to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove? Well, Jesus, which is it? Wise as a serpent? Now, when I'm here, like many other people in North Carolina, and the same thing was true in Arizona, is when I would go out for my walks in the desert, and when I go out for my walks around the lake here, I'm enjoying the birds. That's just good for me. It's good exercise, and I pay attention to the birds. And I've learned a lot from birds. Birds can be very, very tribal. Birds can be beautiful. Birds can be nasty, not always gentle as a dove. But just like in Arizona, particularly when I was walking in the summer, watch out for the rattlesnakes. Yeah, they're dangerous. They can hurt you, maybe even put you under. Well, here in Carolina, I have to look out for what were called the copperheads. And they, right now, because of the situation, there were warnings out there, be aware, and there were pictures that as you are having your 4th of July vacation outing, make sure that you are enjoying that, but watch out for those copperhead snakes. Well, whenever I see a snake, I leave it alone, no matter what. Even if I can't figure out whether it's dangerous or not, I just walk away from it. But I just want you today. And by the way, why don't you look that up and see part of the context? I'm not going to give you the quotation. Look it up. Where did Jesus say, hey, gentle as a dove, wise, street smart, yeah, savvy. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't do stupid stuff. Be wise as a serpent who knows how to survive in a world that is tough. Be gentle as a dove who has to, in effect, also survive, but lives in a state of peace. And isn't it ironic that in many, many cases that we obviously think of the Holy Spirit in what term? We think of the Holy Spirit in terms of the gentle dove, the signature saying, the signature sign of the Spirit is the dove coming down. And what do we oftentimes say about the devil? He's a snake. Be aware. The devil is portrayed as a snake. I love conversations like this because actually then I get to look into the face. This is the little diagram we now use. If Jesus were an entrepreneur here today, I think he might look like that. I think he would dress sharp. He would have a good sense about him. He would be good at what he did. Whatever he did well. So if he were an entrepreneurial businessman today, I believe he would be savvy. He would be smart. And he would smile. And he would be a real leader, not only in things of the Spirit, but in things of the marketplace. And that's what the man was saying, that we live in a world and we live in a marketplace, and there are all kinds of things about us that either can help us, inspire us, and there are all kinds of things that can challenge us and obstruct us and perhaps destroy us. Learn how to live well, to be smart, to be savvy. The word is oftentimes says street cred. Yeah. He was feared. Why? Because he was really good at what he did. And he challenged the things and the powers to be. And he was talking about a whole new way of living and doing business, and in effect, finding a way to live with the very presence, the peace, and the power of God in our lives. Be gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent. The Birds and Snakes Society is perhaps the name we gave it. I think we'll stick with the Jesus Entrepreneur Collective. But please keep in mind, we are called to live differently. We are called to be different. People may step aside because they sense there's some power in your life. There's some difference in your life. And maybe that's what Jesus meant. Someday I hope to ask him, hey, just what was the real meaning of that for you? And I think he'll probably turn to me and said, Stan, well, what do you think it meant for you? All right, there we go. Thank you for your time. I trust that you will have, if you are going to celebrate, those of my friends in America, as you celebrate the hot heat and the celebration of fireworks and all that goes with this celebration time. Be gentle, be kind, be smart, be savvy, do the right thing, do the smart thing, do it right now. All the best and blessings. We're going to try and be here quite often now going forward. We want you, please, reach out to me, Stan at witradio.net. That's what it is. No matter what I am, Stan at whatittakesradio.net, Stan at witradio.net. And by the way, I'd like you to go and buy for $5. No, only $3. A book which is called The Jesus Entrepreneur, and you can read it in a half hour. Yeah, you can do that. And it will give you the 7 things that a Jesus entrepreneur can believe, practice, and become. 7 things that could change your life, transform it, if you would be gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent and understand the 7 principles, practices, and prayers of a Jesus entrepreneur. We'd love to share them with you. Just write to me and we'll direct you to the Kindle book, and I would appreciate that. Also, I'm seeking for a few more people to join us as founding friends. I'm asking you to reach out to me, and I'm simply saying, be a founding friend. I would be grateful if you would make a contribution of $100 to our launch, perhaps to our lunch from time to time, as we make things happen in the Jesus Entrepreneur Collective. I think of all the things you might belong to. I think this, particularly if you're in the marketplace, and you're all in the marketplace, whether you know it or not, this could be very important for you as we go forward in these very challenging, crisis arising, but at the same time, opportunity arising times. Best and blessings. Till next time, I'm Stan for the Jesus Entrepreneur Collective. Bye for now.